Hi guys, and welcome back to another video of Gaming with Powers. I'm Jake, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to play Cupcake Empire from Ludonova Games. So Cupcake Empire is a 2 to 4 player game. It's going to take you about 60 minutes, guys. This is actually a relatively older game. This came out in about 2018, if I am not mistaken. But the reason why I'm bringing this content to you today, guys, is I just recently picked this game up. I'm a part of a Facebook group, and somebody posted in there that Amazon had this game for 72% off. So this game normally retails at $49.99. I was able to pick this up for $15, guys. That is a steal. I believe at the time of me filming this on Thursday, April 6th, Amazon still has this on sale, not quite at 72%, but it's about 50% off, I believe, and it's $24 or $25. But I think that's really a good deal still for the quality and components and everything that you're getting in this game. But alright guys, let's go ahead and jump straight down to the table where I got a portion of the game set up, and I'll walk you through how to set the game up, and I'll show you a quick turn of how to play Cupcake Empire. We have the main board set up here on the table, guys, and then as I'm sure you'll see to your right, we got some little screen printed meeples of our little workers. So the first thing you're going to do, guys, is you're going to go ahead and put the game board out in the middle of the table or somewhere, and then you'll notice that the board has different houses and kind of like different rows, horizontally and vertically as well, and then it has some numbers on the outside of the track. So this is going to be like your standard Euro type setup where the victory points are going to be along the outside of the board, okay? And then the first thing that you're going to do is you will take all of these wonderful screen printed meeples front and back, and you're going to go ahead and place them randomly in their selected apartments or houses or condos, whatever, right? So you'll just put them in their own little square, all right? So I'm going to go through here and just, keep putting them randomly in their spots. And so then what you'll do is you will fill this entire board up. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick, and then I'll be back in a second. Okay, guys, so I have the entire board filled up. So once you do that, it'll look something like this. And then once you have done that, guys, you are good for right now with the setup of this board. You can go ahead and leave it in the middle of the table, and I'm going to go ahead and push this over to the side and show you some more other components for a setup. Okay, so once we have that board set up, guys, we will then need to create a reserve of some of the other components in the game. So the first thing that we're going to do, guys, is we are going to set up a reserve of our cake bases, okay? So you have simple bases and you have mixed bases in the game. And so starting with simple bases, depending on the number of players is how many bases you will use. But with these simple bases, guys, you have a simple base of a generic base. You have a simple base of chocolate, I'm assuming, and then you have mixed bases of the chocolate with the generic, okay? For these bases, no matter the number of players you have, whether it's 2, 3, or 4, you will use all of these base tokens, okay? So once you got that, you'll just kind of set them to the side, which I'm going to set over here. We'll actually leave them on the screen, actually. And so you'll have those at the ready, okay? The next thing you're going to do is you are going to have the frostings, guys, okay? So you have simple frostings and you have mixed frostings. So depending on the number of players is determining how many frostings you're going to have. So for these simple frostings, guys, you have 4 types of simple frostings. You have a lemon frosting, you have a mint frosting, you have a chocolate frosting, and you have a strawberry frosting, okay? Depending on the number of players is how many frostings you'll have. So I'm going to showcase a 2-player game, so I will take 2 of each. In a 3-player game, you take 3 of each. In a 4-player game, you take 4 of each, okay? You take all of them, all right? But those are the 4 simple frostings available to you. Next up, we have the mixed frostings, guys. So in this one, in the 2 and 3-player game, you will take 1 of each. In the 4-player game, you will use all of the frostings in the game. And the frostings will all come in a little baggie here, so you will get as many as you need. But the mixed frostings in the game, you will have a lemon mint frosting. You will have a chocolate mint frosting here. You will have a chocolate lemon frosting. you will have a strawberry mint frosting, you will have a chocolate strawberry frosting, and you will have a strawberry lemon frosting. Okay, those are the 6 mixed frostings in the game. Again, for a 2-player game, I'm just going to use one of each. Okay, the next thing you're going to do, guys, is grab some dice. So you're going to make a reserve of dice, and so you're going to grab one of each color. The dice in this game are going to act as your workers, and so what you're going to do is just grab one color of each dice, depending on the number of players. So in a 2-player game, you will, in a 3-player game, you will grab one of each dice. In a 4-player game, you will grab 2 of each color, but the pink only has 4, so you will not have any pink in the reserve, all right? Your dice all come in little baggies, guys, here, to where you can gain access to all of them. All right, so you'll get your dice and set them over to the side. The next thing is going to be improvements, guys. So these might be kind of hard to see with the pink backdrop of, let me see if I can put them here, but these improvements are going to be able to get you certain bonuses throughout the course of the game, right? So you'll have some that'll allow you to get frostings. You'll have some that'll allow you to put out retail stores. You'll have some that'll give you 3 victory points. You'll have some that will allow you to gain customers. You have some that will give you great ideas, and then some that will give you cake bases, okay? So in a 2-player game, you will take 2 of each kind. A 3-player game, you'll take 3 of each kind. In a 4-player game, you would take all of the improvements in the game. These are the only improvements that they have, the 6 that you see here. And so, again, there's a baggie comes with extra to use those for a higher player count. And then the last thing, guys, is going to be bright ideas, okay? So you'll take some bright idea tokens. And again, we'll go over all these things as we progress through this how to play video. In a 2-player game, you'll take 6. A 3-player game, you would grab 9 of these. And then a 4-player game, you would grab all of them. All right. So once you have these, again, you'll just kind of set them over to the side in a general reserve that you will have, because you'll be able to acquire these when you activate certain effects. Okay. Once you have all that, guys, done, the next thing you're going to do is separate out some of these objective tokens, okay? So there are 4 different letters of objective tokens. You have A, B, C, and D. So I'm going to go ahead and put them right there, all right? These are different objectives or things that you can score that'll give you more victory points or income points, as they like to call them. Simply what you'll just do is separate them in their stacks. You'll shuffle them. There's 5 in each, but I've already removed some. And so you'll go ahead and take the top one of the deck. Like I said, I've already removed one of each from the game. So we'll go ahead and take a look at those, all right? So for the A tile, guys, what this says is that anytime, once a player has reached 2 generic cake bases and 2 mixed cake bases, then they will acquire 6 victory points, all right? The B tile here, guys, this one says that whenever a player has served 5 customers, they will get 6 victory points. The C tile is whenever a player has put 2 retail outlets in a yellow space or green space and 2 retail outlets in a orange space, they will get 6 victory points. And so looking at the main board, dragging the main board back here, guys, you'll be able to see that right here below, these are the yellow retail spots and these are the orange or brown retail spots, all right? And then the last thing is the improvement. So this one shows when a player has 5 improvements in total, they will gain 6 victory points, okay? So you'll put these objective tokens somewhere to the side of the main board, just so you know, everybody, what the objectives are for the game. Okay, guys, that is everything for the main game. Once you have finished all that, it is now time to grab your player board. So you will go ahead and grab your respective player board. They're all the same, but you will go ahead and grab that and lay this out in front of you. Okay, and once you have this laid out in front of you, there's a couple things that you will take. You'll go ahead and grab your little player aid token here to help you with some iconography and what some different effects can do, all right? You will go ahead and grab some dice, okay? So you will take 3 gray dice, and then you will take 1 dice of each color. These dice are not being taken from the reserve. They are being taken from the other bags and piles of dice that are still out there, okay? So you got one of each color and you got 3 dice. Then you're going to take a couple things in your player color, right? So you will take 3 bakeries right here. These are the bakeries in your player color, okay? You will take 3 cubes in your player color. You will take 6 retail outlets in your color, and that's kind of what they look like a little cupcake, all right? And then you will take 5 discs in your color, okay? So there's 4 different colors in the game. You have black, white, tan, and blue, right? So here's white and tan, and then I have the other player that I'm gonna showcase here when we're doing our playthrough or one turn. He is gonna be black, okay? So once you have everything you need, what you're gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and bring the main player board back in vision here. You're gonna take one of your discs and you're gonna put it on the 5 spot. That is your starting income, okay? And then you're gonna take one of your bakeries and you're gonna put them in the gray area right here. So you will start with your bakery just like that, okay? And I'm gonna go ahead and take the black player and put his stuff out. So he's gonna put a bakery here, and then he will also be next to the 5 spot. Back to our player board, guys. What then you will then do is you will take your cubes. Okay, you will put 1 cube in the green spot of the idea track. Okay, that's the idea track. And then the other 2 cubes will go down here on the blue track and the red track. So the blue track is the production track. So this will start on the 2 space of the production track. And then the red track is the sales track. The next cube will start on the 1 spot of the sales track, okay? The other 4 discs you'll just kind of put to the side. Again, these discs are used to show when you complete an objective. You'll go ahead and put your disc on that objective just like that to signify that that objective has been completed, okay? Your bakeries you can put to the side for now. You won't be able to use them until you activate certain powers. And same thing with your retail outlets, guys. You'll put these over to the side, all right? The last couple of things you'll need to know for your player board is we will take all of our dice and put them in their respective lanes according to color and give them their respective number, okay? So you can see here, there's the purple lane, the yellow lane, the orange lane, the green lane, and the pink lane. So the purple is a 1, so I'll go ahead and put the purple in the topmost free space. You'll see there's squares and there's circles. So the square slots will always be for dice, okay? And the circle slots will always be for improvements, all right? So the topmost free lane, you will go ahead and put the dice in their respective positioning in color and with their respective number, okay? So you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, all right? The other gray dice, I'm just gonna go ahead and roll, and I will fill them in the spots that I rolled. Okay, so I got a 3, 3, 2, all right? So I'll put 2 3s right here, and then I have a 2 as well, all right? During this step, guys, if you ever roll a 6, you will just go ahead and re-roll it until you get a number that is 1 through 5. Okay, guys, the last thing is, or the last couple of things, in a 2-player game, you will need to block out some retail spots, and I'll go ahead and show that to you when I get finished with this here. So we'll go ahead and do that. You will then take the 6 improvements. We'll go ahead and move this over to the side. I will then take 6 random improvements. So we're just going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. We're just going to go ahead and shuffle them up. And then the players will draw one at random. Okay, so the blue player will draw this one, which is a 3. And then the other player will draw that one, which is a retail. All right. You will put the rest of the improvement back over to the side on a reserve. All right. You will then take these improvements, guys, and decide where you want to put them, okay? So the improvements, how they work is whenever you are able to, during your turn, one of your actions is going to be activating a row, okay? And if you have any improvements in that row, that improvement will activate as well. So the ideal spot for me is to put this in the orange, and I'll kind of explain that as we go through. I'll go ahead and get that other guy set up in a second, all right? Then the final thing is you're going to determine your start player and give them the starting cookie which is this handy dandy cupcake tracker. So this person is going to be the star player. Once a star player has been determined, the other players will then get to choose their cupcakes, okay? So the person to the right will choose first. So that person will need to choose one base, a simple base, either the chocolate or the regular base, or chocolate regular base, okay? And then they will choose a simple frosting of their choice. So the black player would go first, okay? So he's going to choose a regular base, and then he's going to choose a lemon, okay? So he would combine his two frosting and his icing to make like a little cupcake. So he's got a lemon cupcake, all right? And then the blue player, he's going to choose a chocolate frosting with a mint, all right? Some chocolate mint. Who doesn't love chocolate mint? And that is his cupcake recipe that he has learned for the beginning of the game. All right, guys. Once you have done all that, you are now ready to play Cupcake Empire, okay? So Cupcake Empire, guys, is primarily a dice game, kind of like Dice Manor, Dice Hospital, Dice City, Dice Theme Park, all of that, where your dice are going to be your workers, and you're going to be using them to activate certain abilities and things like that. So the first thing, guys, is the objective of the game, guys, is to get to 70 victory points, okay? You're going to get these victory points by, serving customers and by your sales and production tracks, okay? And so the game will be played over a various number of rounds, however many rounds it takes for one player to get to 70 points. As soon as a player has gotten to 70 victory points or income points, you will make sure to finish out the round so that everybody has a equal number of turns, okay? And then at that point in time, it is possible for you to exceed 70. And so the player with the most victory points at the end of once everybody has equal turns of that round, they will be declared the winner, okay? So let me tell you how a round or a turn is broken up. So on your turn, guys, you will complete all of these steps before ending your turn and going to the next player. So the first step, guys, is going to be activating one of your rows, okay? So you will choose a row to activate, okay? And each row is going to give you different things. So the purple row is going to give you bases, okay? You can either get a, you'll get bases. The yellow row is going to give you frostings. The orange row is going to allow you to put retail chains out there. The green row is going to allow you to serve customers. And then the pink row is going to allow you to gain dice from the reserve or put more bakeries out, okay? So when you activate a row, if a colored worker or a colored dice is in their corresponding row, they are going to be considered a special worker, and they will automatically jump you to the level. So as you can see, for example, let's look at this purple row here, guys. You see the first level of activation is 3 spots down, right? 1, 2, and 3, okay? And then you have the 4th blank, and then 5 and 6 are the last 2, okay? So in a normal row, if I did not have, let's say, a purple dice, and this die was here, I would not be able to activate this row because I would need to have dice that would get me to this first level, okay? So if I had these dice like this, I could activate the first level and gain me a basic cake base of my choice, okay? If I didn't, I would not be able to activate this row, all right? But if you have the corresponding color, you will automatically get to go to the jump to the first level. So I could activate this purple row because he would jump me to the first level, okay? If you have access to the first level, let's take a look at my orange here. If I have access to the first level and I have the corresponding worker that is preferred in there, I could jump to the second level, right? So instead of getting a retail chain in a green area on the main board, I could get a retail chain in the orange area, okay? So it's kind of confusing, but I hope that makes sense, okay? If you have a corresponding color in your row, you get to jump to the closest level. So this is the first level, second level, and then third level, okay? If you have access to the first level through dice, you can then jump to the second level, all right? If you don't even have a corresponding color and just have random dice in there and you don't have access to the first level, you're not going to be able to activate it, okay? So again, guys, the purple will give me bases, the yellow frosting, the orange will give me retail outlets, the green will give me workers, and the pink will give me dice or other things. So bases, right? So I would take a cake base from the reserve. So this would give me a cake base. Now, the purpose of accessing cupcakes is they are going to help you serve customers because certain customers want certain types of cupcakes. I'll go over that once we get to the customer things. But you will get a cake, you will get a base, okay? When you complete a cupcake, you will also get income or victory points for doing that, okay? So the first time you complete a cupcake, you don't get any basic points. But from every time after that, depending on the what you get is how many points you will score, right? So if I have a standard base, that's one victory point. If I have a standard frosting, that's one victory point. So if I have a standard, my cupcake is made up of a standard base and a standard frosting, that's going to give me 2 victory points, okay? And then the mixed will give you 2 and 2. So if I have a mixed base and a mixed frosting, that's 4. If I have a mixed base and a standard frosting, that's 3 victory points, okay? So then, like, let's say I go to this track. On my next turn, I activate this to get a frosting. So I'll take a chocolate frosting. And now I would complete this cupcake, right? So this is a basic base. This is a standard frosting. So I would get 2 points and I would go up on the main track, okay? So that is kind of how creating your cupcakes will work, okay? Gaining cupcake recipes, all right? So that's base and frostings. So now let's look at the orange track, right? The orange track will allow you to put retail chains out. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the main board back into play here. So you'll look at be able to see at the bottom here, guys, you'll see all these little ones. This will allow you to put retail chains out, okay? In order to serve these customers in all of these lines, you must have either a retail chain or a bakery in that row in order to serve customers. So let's say I got a retail chain in this spot, right? Whenever I want to serve a customer, I can either serve a customer in this row or this row. I do not have access to any of these customers yet because I have to get more retail chains out in these city blocks, okay? But again, that is the standard retail thing. So if it has a green background, this is where you can put that. If it has a beige or orange background, that's where you will put those, okay? So that is the orange, level of the track, guys, okay? The green is going to be serving customers, okay? So whenever you get to the level of green, the number is up to what level you can serve. So this, I can serve up to 2 spaces for a customer, up to 3, and up to 4. So let's take a look back at the main board again, guys, and show you here. So this would be level 1, this is level 2, this is level 3, and level 4. So if I hit the level 2 marker on the first level of the green track, which is up to 2 spaces, I can serve any of these customers in either of these 2 spaces as long as I have a corresponding retail chain or bakery in that row. So starting off, I just have this city block right here. So I could either serve this customer or this customer. Now let's look at these customers. They each have different colors, and I'm sure you've noticed. So the corresponding color is the corresponding cupcakes that they like. So let's take this individual an example for sure. So he has a light beige or light tan pants. That means he likes the beige or the standard base of this cupcake, right? And then he's got a yellow top. So he likes the yellow frosting. So his cupcake that you would need is to have the tannish base and a yellow frosting, okay? In order to serve him, that's his cupcake, all right? If you don't have that recipe of cupcake, you cannot serve this. This person wants a double chocolate cupcake, right? So she wants the chocolate base and the chocolate frosting, okay? If you have that, you will be able to serve her, okay? And so that's how all of your customers work. So the yellow, the red, the green, all the tops are going to be frosting. The bottoms are going to be the bases, okay? Now, let's take a look at the mixed bases. So if you have a mixed base, you can serve either customer of that corresponding color. So with a green and with this lemon mint frosting, I can serve either a customer that likes yellow frosting or a customer that likes the mint frosting, okay? And the same thing with the base, right? With the mixed base, there's only 2 bases, so you can serve any customer of your liking, all right? So that is how the customers work, okay, in serving them. The last thing, guys, looking at your player board here is going to be the pink row. The pink row, the first 2 levels will allow you to access dice from the pool. So you'll just grab 1 dice. You will keep this dice for the remainder of the game, all right? You will not trade that dice back in. The second level will allow you to grab a dice and an improvement of your of your choice. The third level will allow you to put a bakery out somewhere, okay? And then the last one will allow you to put a bakery in the orange spot. So the third level would allow you to put a bakery in the yellow choices on the board here, guys. Put the bottom area. And then the fourth level will allow you to put it in one of these spots. So whenever you put a bakery or a retail chain, guys, down, you'll see that these numbers here. So anytime you put a retail chain down, you will increase your sales track by 1. Anytime you gain a bakery, you will increase your sales track and your production track by 1. Okay, so looking at the player board, here is your production track and here is your sales track. All right, so you would increase those by the corresponding numbers. All right. So that is activating a row, right? So on your turn, you're going to choose 1 row to activate. You will activate the level, so whether it's level 1, 2, or 3, and then you will go ahead and do the corresponding effect and resolve anything that comes after that. All right. Once you have done that, you will then take a look at your production level and your sales level. Whatever level is the lowest is what you will take a look at. So starting off, my sales is my lowest. I'll take a peek at that number, and so it's at 1. That is how much I will increase my income or victory points after my turn ends, okay? Well, at this point in time. So let's say my production was at 7 and my sales was at 5, right? My sales is the lowest, so I'm looking at the 5. So I would get 5 victory points and increase my income by 5 on the main board, okay? And then the last thing you will do on your turn, guys, is whatever row you activated, you will go ahead and re-roll that dice. So let's say I activated the purple row. I'll re-roll the dice, so now it's a 3. So I will get it put down in the 3 row. Okay, so that is how 1 full turn will go. Again, you will take all of those actions, guys, and then you will go to the next player in any order. And then once every single player has taken all of their turns, they will go ahead and you would essentially go to the next round, okay? The two things I didn't mention, guys, is whenever you roll a 6, okay, that worker is going on vacation, okay? The first time you roll a 6, you'll gain a idea token or a bright idea token. You can use these bright idea tokens, guys, to get those 6 dice back, to get them from vacation. Also, during at certain points, whenever an opposing player rolls a 6, you will get to advance your bright idea track. And once you do a full completion and land back on the green spot, you will be able to collect a bright idea token, okay? You can only hold a max of 3 bright idea tokens at one time. You can also trade in these bright idea tokens, guys, for an improvement or for a dice from the reserve. And then at any point in time, guys, you can lose 2 income to gain a bright idea token, lose 3 income to gain a dice from the reserve, or lose 1 income to grab your dice out of vacation. Again, guys, the income is victory points, so you might not want to lose a whole bunch, and be careful in doing so. Okay, guys, so that is pretty much everything you need to know in order to play Cupcake Empire. So now what I'm going to do is go ahead and set up the other player board and get everything ready to show you one quick turn of how it would play. Alright, guys, so I got everything ready and set up. So I got the second player here ready to go. I do apologize that I've had to move the main board over here in front. There's a giant glare going on right now. I've tried to fix the lighting, mess with the lighting, and it ain't working. So just bear with me here. But let's go ahead and take one full turn to show you guys how the game is played very quickly. All right. So again, we're starting with the first player, which was the blue player. And so on his turn, he's going to choose to activate a row. Okay. So I think the row that this player is going to activate is the orange row, right? And so he gets to... he has access to the level 1, but because he has the orange, he will have access to the level 2. So he's going to go ahead and activate the orange row. Now, because he's activating an ability in this row, or a power in this row, he also gets access to his improvement, which is 3 victory points. So he'll go up to 8 on the track. He'll then go ahead and get to put a retail chain in a beige spot. So I think he's gonna go... Ooh, I messed these up. All right. So I think he'll just go right here, all right? And when you go right here, guys, you get 1 sales on the track, okay? And then that is everything. So now we're gonna go ahead and increase your income by the lowest track. So they're both at 2. So you will increase this by 2. So he is now at 10 income, all right? Then he's going to go ahead and roll his final dice, and he's going to do that. So he gets 3 and 3 again, and then he gets another 5, all right? So that was the blue player's turn. So now we're going to go over to the black player. The first thing that he's going to do is he's going to activate a customer, okay? Because he can do his improvement as well. So he's going to go ahead and activate the level 2 bonus because he's got the corresponding worker of that matching color, which gives him the first level automatically. So he will get to choose. Well, first let's go ahead and do his improvement. So he'll be able to build an improvement in a spot that is in the greenish, okay? So he'll go ahead and put 1 right here, which will give him 1 up on the sales track. And then he's going to serve a customer. So he can either serve a customer in this row or this row, okay? So the only cupcake he has available to him right now is a lemon cupcake, all right? So he needs to find a customer with the tannish bottoms and then the yellow top. So he can either do this customer or this customer. It does not matter which one. So he's just going to choose this guy, right? So he will serve this customer. So what you'll notice here is on the side of the board, guys, there's a number. That's how much you will increase the sales track again. So it'll go up 1 for serving this customer. You'll then take this customer, and what level was he? He was a level 1. So you'll go ahead and put him in the level 1 section of your track. And there's no bonuses for filling these spaces up, guys. It's just the level of workers or the customers that you serve, okay? And then once he has served that customer, we'll now look at the lowest level. So the production is the lowest, so that's at 2. So he'll move up 2 spaces, going 1, 2 on the 7. All right, and then he will go ahead and re-roll his dice. So he gets double 5, all right? So he would have access to the level 3, 5 if he wanted to on the next turn. All right, guys. Well, look, that is how you play Cupcake Empire, man. Look, my first impressions of the game is me and Sierra both really enjoyed our time playing this game. We'll definitely have to do a playthrough on the channel for you guys. But again, this has that reminiscence of like Dice Manor, Dice Hospital, you know, of that dice game where your workers are dice. But look, the components in here are fantastic, guys. You get this matte finish for your dice. Your game boards are nice and thick cardboard. And then your meeples are screen printed front and back. For 15 bucks, guys, I'm not complaining. This is a heck of a deal. And I think it's a pretty good game. My initial reaction was a 7 out of 10, I would say, for that. But obviously, again, we're going to play through it a couple more times and come out with our actual review to give you a better perspective on things. But again, you can pick this game up for 24, 25 bucks right now on Amazon. I definitely recommend you take a look at this game and check it out if you like dice and like you just want a unique theme about making cupcakes. I think that's our favorite part of the game, is just being able to put together the different combinations of cupcakes. But all right, guys, that is it for me. As always, guys, hit that notification bell. If you have or own Cupcake Empire, drop that down in the comments below, guys. And If you are not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. New content coming out almost every single day, guys. All right, y'all have a great one. Bye.